I just want to say this. My birthday's today,
Yeah.
but my present arrived yesterday.
Let's discuss it. How much trouble are the Cowboys in?
Well, they're in the world of trouble. Let's be very, very clear about that, Max Kellerman. They're in the world of trouble. Because when you look at the NFC, you see how this works? If you're 3-3 and you're a 500 team, chances are, if this trend continues, and we have no reason to believe that it won't, the reality is that the NFC East playoff participant is going to have to be the winner of the division. There's not a wild card that's going to come out of there. Not when you're looking at Chicago, Detroit, and Green Bay in the north. Not when you're looking at New Orleans and Carolina in the south. Not when you're looking at Seattle, San Fran, and to a lesser degree, those reigning NFC champion Los Angeles Rams that don't really look like champions right now. Nevertheless, you got an abundance of teams out there in the NFC, and they're going to get in the Dallas Cowboys' way or the Philadelphia Eagles. You're going to have to win the division to get out of the East. I want to say this about the Dallas Cowboys and why they're going to get in trouble. I was reading an article in the Dallas Morning News this morning, and one of their columnists, I believe, accurately pointed out a huge problem on the part of Jason Garrett, and he labeled it as arrogance. Okay,
that Tim Cowlishaw.
I believe it's
my
Tim
guy Tim Cowlishaw.
I believe it's Tim Cowlishaw, but I'm not sure if he was the one that wrote
for me.
I'm not sure if he's the one that wrote the article. But here's the point that he was making: you've got second quarter, it's 4th and 2 at the 7-yard line with a little over 4 minutes left in the half. Jason Garrett, knowing you got 2 tackles out of the game, knowing that your running game ain't great, knowing that Amari Cooper and Randall Cobb are not available to you, and your offense wasn't looking as stout as we're accustomed to seeing it look, you kicked the field goal right there, and you're all right. What happens? He says, no, can do. I'm going to go for it on 4th and 2, and I'm going to call a quarterback sweep for Prescott. It fails. He gets swallowed. The very next play, Sam Darnold connects with Robbie Anderson for a 92-yard touchdown, and that double move by Randy Anderson on a woozy. And as a result, the Jets go up 14-3. As we look back on it, had they kicked the field goal at that particular moment in time, guess what? Would have been a different ball game, because what did you need at the end? 2-point conversion. That's Jason Garrett. That's coaching. Once again, that's coaching, not stepping up to the plate and handling this business, which is why I have no problem with Jerry Jones taking that position. Dallas Cowboys in a world of trouble right now, and I can't say that I'm upset about it.
Dallas Cowboys are in some trouble, but fortunately for them, the NFC East is so bad that they could still make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. They're not going to do anything once they get there. Right. Maybe if it matches up a certain way, they can win a game. Maybe they can win 2 playoff games. They ain't winning the Super Bowl this year, even if everything falls their way.
Yeah.
I agree with Tim Cowlishaw's point, was Tim Cowlishaw, and I want to address that for a second. He hears, Jason Garrett, the criticism from guys like me, from me, right? Coaches are such cowards in the NFL, it's unbelievable. They never go for it on 4th down, not nearly as much as they should, because they're afraid about getting second-guessed. He hears, I've brought it up a million times, you have Ezekiel Elliott, you drafted him 4th overall, he's exceeded expectations, you're in midfield, and I mentioned this from last year, 1 yard, you're 4th and 1, and you punt. Right? That tells you everything I need to know about Jason Garrett. So here he is. He hears that kind of criticism. He's thinking, 4th and 2, I'm going to go for it, right? No, but it does depend on the circumstance. Here and there, you have to take it into consideration. I usually don't, and I'm not going to even kill him now. If you go for it on 4th and 2, I usually like that. I'm not going to kill him now. But Tim Cowlishaw has a point. Pay attention to what's going on. Ezekiel Elliott just didn't do anything the last time he touched the ball. And the main thing is because your 2 tackles, your starting tackles who are all universe tackles, aren't there. And that's when you choose to be aggressive, right? When maybe you should think, let me take the points, then you choose to be aggressive. The Cowboys are in some trouble in the sense that they should have a better record than they are right now and be more in control of their own destiny. They're not, mainly because of injury, but also because their head coach isn't good enough. And even when Jerry Jones talks about Dak, and we'll get into it later on, in the end, it's going to come down to a decision, head coach or quarterback. They've isolated every other variable. They have everything else they need. I do not believe he will choose the head coach. So not only are the Cowboys in trouble, but Jason Garrett in particular is in a world of trouble.
Jason Garrett will be gone at the end of this season, barring a miracle, meaning barring if they make the playoffs and make a run in the playoffs. Jason Garrett will be gone. He will not last. If this team is not successful this year, Jason Garrett won't be back as the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. That's number one. Number two, I think Dak Prescott, we'll have a conversation about him later. It'll cost him some money. Number three, I forgot who we was showing that video of the guy that, on Dallas, the defensive side of the ball, that said, we beat ourselves. Well, isn't that what I always say? That black cat running around that franchise? Then how many times have I had to say to all of y'all's, just wait. Take your time.
All right. Don't
rush it. They will not let you down. What can go wrong will go wrong. And we're seeing it. I must say I'm disappointed. I think we're seeing it earlier than I anticipated. I would have liked to have waited later. I would have liked to have waited later because it's modifying the expectations of Dallas Cowboy fans. And by the way, that's kind of, it's kind of massaging their misery to some degree. I want them here and plummeting around Christmas. I don't like the fact that it's happening this early.
All right.
I'm very disappointed. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.